Assalamu alaikum. I've come here to talk to you about the future, about your future, my people's future, and our shared future. This is a future that chooses cooperation over conflict, hope over hostility, and friendship over fear. A future that's dependent on all the people here in the room. I'm so happy to be here. I want to begin by telling you what an honor it is for me to be here as the Prime Minister of Israel on the first official visit in the wonderful Kingdom of Bahrain, to be here in a room speaking to young people from Bahrain. Who would imagine? Who would imagine? Today I met earlier His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the Crown Prince, and we had very meaningful discussions. I thank them for their very warm welcome and warm hospitality, and for their courage, the courage on embarking on this change, this incredible change that's taking place before our eyes in the Middle East. And I thank all of you for coming here today, because we're all together going to play a role in shaping the future of our region. There was once a tent, and it was our home, the home of every person in this room. This is the tent of Abraham, Ibrahim. So Abraham, you know, was not just your average leader. He was a man of God. He was also a man of the world, traveled the world. He was a family man, and people don't realize, but he was also a very capable business person. He was a man who was both attached to his faith, but at the same time, and because of his faith, he was open to the world. And you know, everyone was invited into Abraham's tent. It was a tent wide open to all four directions. Everyone was invited. And I think it's remarkable that the historic agreements between Israel and the Arab nations are called the Abraham Accords. You know, when I became Prime Minister, I was asked what I think about the term Abraham Accords. Will we continue it? You know, it was my predecessor who signed the deal, and I said, of course, there could not be a better name for this peace, for this relationship. And religion in the Middle East no longer needs to be defined by brutality and extremism. Because for like-minded leaders of the Abraham Accords, our faith is the glue that heals the wounds of the past, and it strengthens a connection between us. All of the leaders in the Abraham Accords are people of faith. My Bahraini friends, we sit together in the great tent of Abraham. And in this tent, nobody's a stranger. We're all one family. We're lucky enough to live in these times that will go down in history books. What will be written in the history books is up to each and every one of us to define the future and how it will look. And that's why I wanted to speak to you, the younger generation, today. And through you, I'd like to convey to young people, young Arab people across the region, the Middle East, these are extraordinary times. And after a decade of regional instability and 2 years of pandemic that we all hope is going away, but it's sort of still lingering there. And while the world is in turbulence, even these very days, we're blessed with a unique opportunity to build bridges, And yeah, we have different cultures, we practice different religions, but actually we're on the same side. We're on the side of those who choose hope over hostilities and possibilities over the problems. You see, the fault line used to be between Arabs and Israelis. But now the fault line is a different one. It's between agents of terror and chaos and people of hope and building. Now, the future of the relations between our nations don't depend just on ceremonies and declarations. It depends and builds on real connections between people. And the best way to connect is meeting. There's no better way. Meeting face to face. And that's why I urge all of you to come and visit Israel. Come and visit Israel. Come and see what Israel is really about. And I can promise you the Israeli people will wait for you and welcome you with open arms. The Middle East is changing so rapidly, and I'm convinced that Israel's growing relationships with Bahrain and other countries in the region, we're the leading force of this profound change. And we need to shape it, not let others, some close around, shape our future. And today we're creating a new reality in the Middle East that will greatly benefit our people, our countries, and the region. We have to seize the momentum of the Abraham Accords, and we have to take this opportunity and make the most of it. We have a structure, we have a frame, but we have to fill it with content. Because to be honest, the first year of the Abraham Accords between Bahrain and Israel, there was a lot of ceremony, but we don't have enough trade, we don't have enough tourism, we don't have enough connections, and that's what this visit is all about. I'll read you a piece from the Torah. ויאמר אברהם אל לוט, אל נא תהי מריבה ביני וביניך ובין רועי ובין רועיך, כי אנשים אחים אנחנו. You want to know what I just said? So what I said was, so Abraham said to Lot, and I believe in the Quran is called Lut. So he said, let's not have strife or of conflict between me and you, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. So we are brothers, and together, God willingly, we're going to fulfill Abraham's dream. Thank you very much.